right, y'all. We just having car tea time. I don't know about you guys, but 2024 has really, I would honestly say, took me out. I mean, I have had so many L's this year. I can't even, like, it's no way to coming back. And I have been talking before about, like, coming back because it's not, like, it's not your season. This year I lost so much. One of the biggest losses I had this year was one of my brothers passed away from stage 4 cancer. And I don't think I've ever recovered from that. Like, honestly, I don't think I've ever recovered, because it's not like it's your brother and it's different when it's like your baby, like somebody you raised, and it's like, it's different. So I don't think I've ever really mentally recovered. And I have been going on and on and on, trying to be so strong for everything, everyone, and everybody, that I, honest to God, feel like I don't know, y'all. I'm just like, I'm here. I've lost so much stuff this year. Not only did I lose, my brother, then I lost my first cousin, Sheena. Then I lost my cousin, Manish. Like, it's just so much stuff that's happened this year, like, with family members. I can't even call it, It's so many family members that have been gone this year in my family. I don't know. I've lost so much. I've lost a lot, and I know sometimes we're not supposed to focus on the things that we lose, but certain things you just don't recover from. I lost friendships with people that I love tremendously, that I will never not have love for them. That some people were more like family than they were friends, but some relationships, I suppose, are meant to come to an end. Some relationships I suppose are meant to change, and seasons change. I lost a lot of stuff this year. One of the things that I damn near lost my mind. I've been always pouring and giving, and I've really, I don't know. I've just lost myself so much so to where I'm just functioning, and I'm trying to work my way to getting that healthy space and healthy place back. And the gym just happens to be one of the ways that I cope with that. Going to therapy is one thing, but going to, dealing with loss. When you lose yourself, or when you're in a place of just functioning, it's nothing like it. You just functioning. You just going on with life. Business has changed. There's a lot of loss in that. There's a lot of loss in a lot of things. And so I think the way we carry it, people have this false belief, because media, social media especially, makes you think that everything is okay. And sometimes you have to come to a conclusion and a realization that maybe, you're not losing, right? You may be winning. Now, when it comes down to family, because we don't want our family to suffer, but when it comes down to other things, maybe losing a lot of things around you can be a reflection of who you are. And I had to take some time, I've been taking time to really just self-reflect and, look at what that looks like for me. I need to check me first, because I haven't been the best of person as far as like showing up in the way that I know that I could be fully at certain times. But I also know that I've given 100% of myself to the best of my capacity, to where I don't know how to give anymore. I'm trying to do what's best and trying to juggle everything. And, even the person that is the strongest person deserves grace. And I don't think, for me, because of what I carry and what I have to go through and what I'm working on building, I don't get grace. If I make a mistake, if I cuss somebody out or say something or do something, I'm looked at all upside my head. She didn't lost her mind. She didn't act a certain way. If I pull back, or I get quiet, or if I take some time out for myself, or maybe I don't do that. Maybe I'm just all over the place, just trying to be there for everybody else, and I haven't been as attentive to certain things as I should. I'm being weird, or I'm all over the place, or she's crazy, that. And I don't think people really take time to think, like, maybe this human individual may be experiencing life, because life does what it does. Life is life, and then all we can do is just take it one day and one step at a time. But being honest, trying to be open and vulnerable and be transparent about the places, spaces, and things that you're doing. Sometimes people don't give a fuck. They really don't. Like, they don't care what you got going on. Sometimes you can't blame people for what you got going on. You have to just keep on going. And I'm learning more than ever to be in this season. Don't say say nothing. Just be quiet. Because why talk about it? Because nobody really fucking cares. Why open up your mouth and vent about it? Because nobody really fucking cares. Like, it is just crazy how you could be pouring out your soul, your heart, and all of that, and people really just don't give a fuck. They be like, okay, so what about what I asked you to do? Or what about me? So I've learned this year, like, even though you can take a L, I've taken many. I'm learning to just be in that season and area where I'm just quiet. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't want to open up and talk. I feel like sometimes I have word vomit, right? And what I mean by that is because I've held in so much for so long. When I do open up, it's just like, bleh, like it's a lot. And I can't even talk about half the other things that I've lost this year, but just know that I've lost a lot of things. And a setback is always the way to do a comeback, right? That's what they say. Your comeback has to be even harder. Listen, my comeback, I don't know, some things you don't recover from. Some things you have to let that old person, human ways, time pass so that you can be born again, so that you can come anew, so that the greatest lesson that you can ever learn is taking an L, because an L will teach you about yourself, how you respond. And so I'm just rambling, just talking, just having conversation. I try to get people to interact, chit chat, and comment, but a lot of times people don't want to talk, they don't want to say nothing, they be like watching the stories, never speak back, you know, all that kind of stuff. But like I said, if I was some ratchet ass hood rat sucking dick, talking about eating my booty hole and doing all that kinds of stuff, of course people will be like, oh my god, what is she talking about? Or, you know what I'm saying, if I was talking about eating pussy and eating from the back and all that stuff, showing the pussy on social media and titties and just being extra, of course people are going to be like tapped in and tuned in. But when you talk about health and wellness, fitness, your fitness journey, the life journeys that you go through, you know, people really don't give a damn about that shit because it's not part of their turn up. If I was talking about smoking weed and hitting the blunt and doing all that, smoking the pen and doing all that, people would be tapped in, tap in, right? But I've never been a ratchet human. Like, I've never had that energy. I've never been that person to be, oh, ratchet, and me and my ratchet ass friends. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, back in the day when I was young, I might be out here doing the twerking work, but I love to dance, so that's different. But you're never gonna catch me on there just being ghetto and just, I don't know. And that's all in the mind and perception, because some people, you know, think ghetto is a derogatory thing. You know, culture is where you grow up at. But I've never been her to be like that on social media. I'm not on here exposing people, baby daddies, and all that kind of stuff, and all these different things that I could be doing, being trifling. Like, I could be a bitter bitch. I could be a bitter woman that the people often say that black women are. Oh, they just bitter. They just this or that. No, we're not bitter. You know, we're just telling our story. Telling your story doesn't mean that you're bitter. Telling your story means that you are speaking to someone who may have experienced or maybe going through that same situation, showing them that you too can overcome. You too. We all are, you know, healing is linear. It's not a thing that you be like, okay, I'm healed. I read a self-help book. I watched some TikTok videos and now I'm ready. And that's unfortunate, because that is actually what happens to a lot of people. They get into this mindset where they think like, I'm healed, and then something happens, you in your next relationship or friendship or doing whatever, then triggers happen and come along, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you're back triggered again and you find yourself back in that same situation. So I'm just talking to say all this. You know, I'm not the best person, content poster and all that kind of stuff, but I am transparent about my shit. I will be honest about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and I'm just on this journey and path like every other human. Invite a person to like the page. If not, keep pushing. Have an amazing day.